harder you grind, the bigger you dream. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. I said, the harder you grind, the bigger you dream. I said, you're up and I'm up. Y'all now tuned in to the Grind Hard Dream Big Show. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. I'm here with...
My name Brandon, CEO of NU Clothing Line.
Okay. You know, it's NU. I had to comment. You already know. Yeah, so how you feeling, man? Spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. How you feeling, man?
Good. I'm feeling high. High.
That's all right.
Higher than ever, man. I'm high off life.
Oh, high off life.
Hustling, grinding.
Yeah,
man.
Okay. So this brand that you got, NU, when did it start? Or when was this like, all right, you know what? I wrote this joint down. What is this? What am I doing? Like, when did it really start for you or click?
So, like, 2017 was really one of, like, the biggest years. I had gotten into, like, a car accident. And it was, like, a bad car accident, and I walked away with no scratches, no nothing. And it was this lady, she texted my father and was just like, I don't know who your son is, but he got a gift, and he here for a purpose. And that kind of, like, what kind of popped it off, because, like, it was right there at that moment. It's like, I'm here for a purpose, and I had to, like, go back into, like, an isolated space and figure out what that purpose was, and that's kind of how NU was created, with the help of others. I won't lie, with the help of others, definitely. Just so basically, life experiences. That's where NU come from. Just life experience and always believing in yourself and knowing you can get yourself out the darkness.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I could kind of relate to that because I know like certain years is dark. Like 2017, that was the year I graduated, college. But like, prior to that, I never really thought that. Okay, was college for me? Or this,
right.
For me, or
right.
What is it?
Right.
So, how was your childhood experiences per se, or like? Like growing up, adversity, things that you.
Oh yeah, so it come with that too. Like a lot of it was just like growing up. Like I ain't had I had a good childhood, but I didn't have the best childhood neither. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people can relate to that, but it was more so just like facing adversity was one of the biggest things that I had to learn. Like just growing up, like that we can't let nothing knock us down because we like the bigger oppressors of ourselves. We oppress ourselves and our thoughts. And then, society, they make you learn everything but yourself. So just like at a certain age, I had to figure out what do I like to do? How do I want to write my life out? Like, what's my blueprint?
Right.
And then childhood traumas and like childhood experience that got me through that. Like, it's still certain things now you learn from today, being a grown up, being an adult, that it's just like, you go through certain things. You be like, I remember that as a child.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I remember that. I remember, but now I know how to.
Yeah, you know how to
maneuver around it. So it's like it's everything connected. And it's like you can't forget that. And it's like one of the biggest things about my brand is I want everybody, like, you got to be yourself. Everybody else taken. You know what I mean?
Like, that's a bar right there, y'all. Sure. That is, because I think a lot of people don't realize that. Identity and finding yourself, right? Your notion and your purpose and your why. I know for me it was really confusing at first because I would do things, but then people would be like, "Oh, you're trying to be like this person.
Right.
Oh, you're trying to be like that person. Oh, we already have that. Why are you doing this?" Like, but they don't understand the light that you're shining. They're not understanding what it is that you're doing. They're not understanding that. Okay, you know what? God told you. You gotta do this, or so why you worried about that, and things like that too.
Because a lot of people don't understand, like, your blessing don't really come until you truly be yourself. Because you know what I mean, like, it's like, because everybody is deserving. I mean, everybody has a blessing, you know what I mean. But you can never get your true blessing if you're trying to be everybody else, or you're trying to be what society taught you is right to be. You know what I mean. You gotta truly be yourself, and I feel like that's when things unfold for you. And that's when your life truly begins.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Or even the notion of betting on yourself, right?
Yeah,
because
for sure.
I think
for
me, being reserved or, just, sitting back so much, or I guess this notion of like playing it safe. I was that type of person to play it safe. I can't lie about that. Like, okay, well, you know what? It's too risky. I ain't gonna bother. But then I realized, okay, well, you know what? If this is what I want, I gotta be all in for it. Because if I'm not all in for it, ain't nobody else gonna be all in the way I am, right?
No risk, no reward.
Yeah. So I just think that, like you said, being yourself and doing what you wanted to do. What was that particular moment where you knew, like, all right, this is exactly, I know you said, 2017, adversity.
Yeah.
But the notion of even, having your own clothing line, Like, were you someone that loved art per se? Or?
Yeah, so it was always I don't like working for people.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like I always been into business, and I always into fashion. My mother is heavy into fashion.
Okay.
So I always been into fashion, but always been a free thinker. That was the first thing, and I kind of wanted to be just that entrepreneur, just to show like my culture. Like, man, we gotta have multiple streams of income instead of multiple expenses.
Ooh,
Like, you know what I mean? So it was just like that was kind of like the motivation behind it, just being an entrepreneur, jumping out there. Like I said, just because I'm a big YouTube person. I watch YouTube all day. Like, so it's just like you learn so much on there, but if you don't do nothing with what you learn, what's the point of learning it? You know what I mean? So it's just like
I get you.
I feel as like we had to jump out there as people. Like that's why honestly, it's kind of weird because even as a kid, I used to want tattoos just because I wanted to be different. Like, I wanted to be that rebel, like, nah, you can still do it and be like this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's one of the biggest things for me. And it's like, I want to be that leader in the community. Like, all right, if he could do it, I could do it. Like, kids see that. You know what I mean? Like, kids see that. So it's, like, important for that. I wanted that to be seen.
Right, yeah, for sure. I think I can relate to that, too, because, you know, I think whatever you go through, and then you know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. It's like you just trying to let people know that there's light for you too. Like
that's it.
Yeah, of course. You know, I went through a hardship, or of course, I may have not been the smartest person, but I did what I had to do to get through and to get to that goal.
Yeah.
You know, so goal setting. I mean, we can just talk about it. Goal setting is very, very important.
Very important.
You know what I'm saying? You know, it's 12 months in a year. We got 4 quarters, so of course, like. You know, I would say probably what you focused on 2022 right now.
Oh yeah,
is that safe to say?
A couple months ago. Yeah.
Okay, a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, like I'm locked in on 2022 myself. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And you know, I know a lot of people like, well, we still in 2021. I get there in 2022, but you know, being ahead of the game. So with business, what really kind of like, you know, like I said, inspired you? Like, did you look at you know, other people's stories and feel like, okay, you know what, I could do the same thing too, or like, ooh, they doing that. I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, it's a couple of people I look up to. Like Nip was one of them. Heavy.
Okay.
I look up to Nip heavy. Wallow, of course. You know, we seen each other at the show.
Yeah,
like,
sure,
it's a couple people. I ain't gonna lie, but a lot of people I look up to is people around me, like my friends.
Right.
Like. Certain people that I don't even know. Like, I learn a lot through people. Like, I learn a lot about myself just talking to different people. Like, you know what I mean? Just a big spectrum of different people. Like, so those kind of, in a way, the people I look up to because of just the different things that they go through in life, or how they got through it, or just, like, just sitting there and observing.
Right.
It's powerful when you sit there and just observe people, like, because, or just talk to them, because you be surprised that you more alike than you are different with people.
Right.
You know what
I agree. And I think we do, you know, like I said, for us as people, we tend to judge people, right? And it's like, well, we ain't even really listened to understand them. All we did was really reply to whatever they said.
That's it, yeah.
And that's really like something I had to learn myself because, you know, we can talk so much, but it's just like, I just need you to hear me.
Hear you. That's it.
I need you to know that I'm here, or, hey. Like,
it's something that simple.
Okay. It is simple, but it's difficult because, you know, it comes with practice.
Yeah.
And I think over time, the more you practice, the more
you get better at it.
Yeah.
Sure. Like I always advise people to just like talk to people, like go out by yourself or just have a conversation with a random person, or just because it's a non-biased conversation. We don't know each other. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's like you kind of see. Like, you kind of learn yourself. Like, you kind of learn if you're a judgmental person, you know, you kind of learn different things about yourself through just having a conversation with somebody. Or you learn something that you might have been ignorant about before.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just powerful. People are powerful. The power in the people. I feel like that's why you got to talk to people.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. I agree with you 100%. I do. Because I feel like, you know, for me in relationships, I think relationships are very, very important. At first, we used to get, you know, like me, I used to get caught on, like, money, material. Yeah. All right, bet. You know what, man? I ain't fly because I ain't got that. Or I ain't this because I ain't got that.
Right.
Or you ain't this because you ain't got that. But I looked at it now, it's like, okay, well, does it really even matter? Like, my mindset now is like, okay, well, you got shoes, you got jeans, you got a shirt, you got a jacket, you're good, you're comfortable. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily matter how much it costs, you know, because, you know, you have to think rich instead of, you know, wear rich.
Yeah.
And we're in a community where we want to impress as opposed to improve. So like, how do you really feel about that? Like over time, and of course, like with your brand and you know what you see and what you observe.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like we all were once victim to that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like definitely, you want to be seen in the coolest stuff and the flyest stuff. You know what I mean? But then you kind of it come down to just community. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Once you learn the true meaning behind community and your true history, it come down to that. Like you just want the next person to grow.
Right.
Like, it's like I wouldn't go get a business secret or a business hack and not tell the next person, because a lot of that goes on in the DMV. It's like it's hard to grow because we only want people we actually know to win.
Right.
Nah, I want the whole community to win. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, I want everybody to be able to enjoy this. Like,
right. Yeah, for sure.
This is because it's a win. Like anything we do, it's a win for our people. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
it is.
And like I said before, looking at the people that's close to me, like even for you, like one of the people, because like you getting on Instagram, creating content every day.
Yeah.
You know, connecting in the communities. I see you out there, so it's just like you doing that. That's kind of how I want to take my brand into the future. Like, man, just. When you put in your shirt on, it's once you buy it from me, it's no longer me. You got to tell your own story. You know what I mean? Like I could tell my story. I created it, with my business partner, and that's it. But once you buy it and you put it on, that's your story. You got to tell. That's your blueprint that you got to create. Like,
right.
And you got it's like a subtle reminder. It's in you. Like, you know what I mean? Like
right.
Even when it's down, like we gonna shine. Like God is within us all.
Right.
Like so. It's just major for people to just remember, like, where the power truly relies.
Yeah,
like, it's not on social media.
Yeah, it's not.
It ain't any celebrities. It's within. Like,
right, yeah. And that's hard. Because, you know, like I said, for me, I would be the type of person, like, you know, you talked about me, creating content.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the pandemic hit, you know what I'm saying? This is 2020. The pandemic hit, and, you know, like, the whole world felt like, you know, still can't move anywhere.
Yeah.
So to recharge, to revamp, and to refocus for myself, you know, July 5th, 2020, I pushed that record button, you know, just did a live video. You know, I was just talking.
Yeah.
And one video literally led to the next, that led to the next, that led to the next. And my purpose, I felt like, all right, this is what was heartfelt for me. People didn't know that. You know, it wasn't like, okay, you're just trying to talk to a group of people. No, I was really talking to myself. It was therapeutic for myself.
That's real.
You know, because I needed to remind myself of where I'm at in this moment. And, you know, okay, if somebody understands that or somebody's going through what I'm going through also, then, you know, that can help them too. So that's how I looked at it. Like, it was really therapy for myself, and hopefully, you know, it helps somebody else. So I didn't look at, okay, well, dang, this ain't get 1,000 likes or this didn't get 1,000 comments. I kept going regardless of what it is.
People stop right there. People stop right there.
People do stop because people do want it, you know, likes and attention. And I'm not gonna lie, social media will derail you from that because it's like, okay, well, nobody's liking my stuff. Nobody's checking in with me or how important am I? I stopped looking for validation from things that weren't valid. And then I started winning.
That's powerful.
That's how I looked at it. I started winning because I started feeling free. Like, okay, cool. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I don't have to worry about the outside noise.
Yeah.
You know, and it led to the podcast, you know, November 7th or November 6th, November 6th, you know, 2020. That's when I launched it. And, you know, Grind Hard, Dream Big. Shout outs to, you know, Reggie Promo for doing my logo. And this creative space that I have now, through the, you know, grace of God and relationships. Shout outs to, you know, Steve, because he actually introduced me to, you know, my man Brian, and we are now, you know, in this realm doing what it is that I want to do. So I just want to, I say that to say that, you know, God will work with you. God will test you, and then he will bless you. But your purpose and your gift, you know, you got it. It's meant to be shared.
They say whatever you want in the world, the universe will do everything in its power to help you get it. You just got to be true to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to stay true to it. And you got to block out the outside noise. Because people think you crazy when you come up with certain things or when you do certain things. They're like, nah. But I don't look at it as crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I look at it as just like determination. You know yourself. Like, you know what's going to work. Like, there's certain things somebody could have told you. Like, nah, I don't know about that. Like, I don't know if that episode gonna be. Nah, but in your side, you know, like, this gonna be the one.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and it's crazy because people have put fear and insecurities on you. Yeah, and they probably be like, nah, I don't really want you to do that because they don't even really know. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, well, what God told you is what God told you. This ain't no conference call for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a one-on-one.
Yeah, it is, right. So I just look at it that way, too. And what intrigued me about your brand a lot was, I mean, the design was different. That was one for me. And then, two, how you advocated for yourself, you know, through whatever realms it was. Like I said, even going back to, you know, us linking up at the $1 Million Worth of Game tour right there at Howard Theater. You know, shout outs to, you know, for them even coming.
For sure.
And stuff like that. But what allowed me to know and see is that you had willpower. Like, I'm literally sitting, and then I see you literally just go up there. And you're like, I got my product. Like, I don't even care about, you know, who's here, this, that, and the third. This is my mission. This is on my mind. This is what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? So you sit there, you just up and got your product ready. Gilly and Wallow right there, boom. You know, and you just gave it to them.
It was planned, for sure.
And then on top of that, you know, Return to Sender, you know, they buy it. You know, and then on top of that, you get promo with it.
That was real.
And then you get a shout out, and then they put it on their, you know, platform as well. Amazing. So it's just like you came in with a plan already to do what you need to do, and I salute you for that because a lot of people, you know, they just are in these realms or in these spaces and may just want a picture or just may want to capture the entertainment, you know, just through recording. But you as, you know, a brand owner and going so hard for your brand, you were like, look, this is another way for me to network and expand. So just talk about that plan and I guess that day, and it's even surreal.
Nah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like I said, that whole experience is crazy, and it's only even crazy because it showed me a lot.
Okay.
And I like what it showed me going into 2022, and I say that to say this. So 2019, I had DM Wallow just basically like introducing myself, like trying to get him a hoodie from the jump. Like I love his story. I love what he do. I love his views on the world, everything. You know what I mean? But you know how it go. Like you just shooting a shot. Like I shot a DM, nothing. Came back 2021. I seen they was going on tour. I text my business partner. It's like let's go up. Let's get the tickets. Brought the tickets. Man, I told my girl, I was like, man, I'm gonna give Wallow a hoodie. There's no question about it. There's nothing stopping me. I'm gonna give him a hoodie. Went to the print shop that day, print out the hoodie. I didn't even know they sizes, bro. I just took a guess off of just looking. You know, when you do clothes, you could kind of look at people and kind of tell what kind of size they wear.
Right.
So yeah, like had it in my book bag, and you know, it's COVID, and DC kind of tight. So I'm thinking like they might not even let me in with no book bag. So, but it's like. It wasn't no doubt in my mind. Wasn't nothing stopping. Like I'm giving them these hoodies. That's just what it is.
Right.
Like, and it kind of just played out like how I said it was gonna play out. And to go back to what I was saying, like if you want something, the universe gonna try everything in its power to help you get it.
Right. Exactly.
You just gotta stay true. And I feel like that was one time like I stayed true and I bet on myself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I say I learned that lesson. I like that lesson that I learned. Because going into 2022, it's like, all right, like you keep betting on yourself. Look what you get when you bet on yourself.
Yeah, when you bet on yourself.
You know what I'm saying?
Right?
So it's like, that was kind of like motivation right there. Like, and then it's like even the free promotion, like people like being more connected within my city, going up there. You know what I mean? It was a bigger play versus just them giving them my hoodies. Like, you know what I mean? It was just actually getting more known in my city or the DMV, period. You know what I mean? So it's like, it was a blessing, honestly.
Yeah,
and
sure.
And it's crazy because I learned it from my mans. My mans, he said it was delusional, but I felt like it was genius. Like he drove one day, he a rapper. He got up one day, drove all the way to 8 hours, all the way to North Carolina, and J. Cole let him in a studio session.
Wow.
Powerful, bro. Like, it's just
crazy.
Sometimes you got take the risk, jump off the porch, no risk, no reward, and that's what we living by from now on. Like,
yeah, it's crazy because like I said, I'm doing motivational content, and my man Steven, shout out to Vegan Steven, he like, yo, like, you know who this dude Wallow is? I'm like, I don't know who he is. Seriously? You don't know who he is? I'm like, I don't. I'm literally just grinding, doing my thing. True story. I'm grinding, I'm doing my thing. And I'm like, all right, so I'm chilling. And as I'm doing my thing, I'm like, all right, who's this dude you talking about? So he showed me a video. I'm like, okay. He do motivational content. All right. I was like, okay, cool. I followed. And as I followed, I'm seeing this content. I'm like, all right, cool. I copped this book, and I read this book, The Mind of Wallow, Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. So I read it, and I'm like, all right, it's short, it's sweet to the point, but I get it. I like how he wrote. Like, it was just, like, relatable, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. And then the crazy thing is, like, he's like, man, look, you doing great things. He giving out great energy. You giving out great energy. You gonna run into this dude one day. And I'm like, huh? What you talking about? He's like, you gonna run into this dude one day. So I'm like, all right. So they were supposed to do the joint out. They did the joint out Philly in July, I believe. But you know what I'm saying, I was working, so I didn't even go to them. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, all right, cool. I never, like, DM'd them. I never did, any of that. I was just, like, grinding, all right, bet. So then they come to D.C., and I'm like, all right, cool. As soon as they announced it, I'm like, all right, boom, I bought a ticket. So, I kept it kind of on hush or whatever. I didn't let people know or whatever. And then, all of a sudden, the day of the show, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm in the building, and, everything manifests. And they're like, okay, anybody local that's doing anything, this, that, and the third. I'm like, all right, I'm already at the end. So I stand up. And, I just talk. I'm talking to him, having a conversation, and then all of it, talking about, podcasting and content creating and things like that. Then all of a sudden I get a picture. As soon as I get the picture and I leave the show, I sit there and I call my man Steven. I'm like, yo, he was right.
Yo.
And it happened. And I'm like, he said, yeah. Like, because it's the energy and alignment that makes happen. So it's just like, I never told myself, like, oh, I'm going to meet this person one day. But I knew as in, like, an influencer is like when you meet somebody that you watch or something like that, it kind of gives you more motivation to go harder. Because it's like, okay, bet, like, you giving out this motivational content, and you doing what you want to do, you doing what you love. Now you're aligning yourself with the people that's been doing it. So it's like you constantly remain the student of the game. Like, no matter how far you get, just remember the knowledge and always be a student of the game. Like, I'm just sitting back and it's like, it is surreal, but I'm in another gear in 2022 now.
That shifted right there, yeah. That night was I feel like anybody that was at that show and do something with business, it was like a shift in your motivational gear, because it was the energy in the show was crazy. Like, the DMV got a lot of talented people. Yes. But we in each other's way because we don't use it as a community. Right. You know what I'm saying? We use it as competition.
Yeah, I agree.
We that's why we get overlooked from a lot of different states, but we got the most talented people in my eyes being from here, but we block ourselves out.
Yeah, we do. I mean, and the thing is, like, competing where you don't compare at either, because it's like, I feel like it's a lane for everybody. Like, you got this in you clothing, like you just said, when somebody buys a shirt, it's more than a transaction for you. It's like, I bet you bought a shirt. You believed in me. I believe in you. Yeah. Now all of a sudden you have a story to tell. Same thing with me, like creating a platform or creating an opportunity for, people to feel safe, people to, tell their stories. Like, that just needs to be told.
Got to be told.
So it's like, if I don't do it, who's going to do it? And I felt like it was purposeful for myself to do it. So it's like, we can't compete where we don't compare, and we can't really hate on each other without even knowing each other.
Cause I want to know people's story, cause I'm intrigued by stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cause I don't just tell me the highlights, like tell me everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cause I can relate to the messed up stuff or the downs more than I can the ups. You know what I mean? So it's like, That's why I really don't care for social media, and it's hard not to care for social media because I run a business. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it depressing because everybody just showing you the good things in life. You know what I'm saying? That's not real life. That's not reality. You know what I'm saying? We got more downs than we do ups.
Right.
We face more battles mentally than we do anything.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta start being honest.
Yeah, and
with these things. Like,
I agree.
Because honestly, when we start being honest, we help each other out of the darkness. But when we lie about it, or nobody can help you because we don't know what you're going through.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like, and to tell people that too, like, you know, for me, like, this was a whole new transformation. Like, I knew that certain people were gonna be like, okay, well, why is he doing this now? Like, who does he think he is, right?
Right.
But people didn't really know how hard it was for me, like, to stay motivated to make these motivational videos. Like, okay, why are you doing that? Like, ain't nobody seeing it. Like, you gonna beat yourself up. Like, and I'm told this, like, ain't nobody seeing it. It's not popping. What are you doing? You need to stop. Find something else to do. Da 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 da. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, are they right? And I had that little mind block where it's like. And I had that hard conversation where you just look at it as like, what is this for? What is this about? Like, show me something. Like, God, is this real? And it's like, nah, keep going, you know, because I felt stuck at times, and it was hard. But people ain't know how hard it was until it was like, okay, well, man, you get on the camera, you make it look so easy. Yeah. But they don't know.
They don't know that.
Oh, it was not one take. It won't 2 takes. It won't 3 takes. It won't 4. You know, they don't know how long it took as far as the process. So I tell people all the time, like, I'm not this perfect person. Like, I'm not perfect, but I'm worth it. Like, you're not perfect, but you're worth it. But people have to realize that and have that self-confidence and walk into that positive affirmation. You know, we get caught up in social media. We get caught up in the drama, the negativity so much that it's so hard to be positive. Or when somebody does something positive, it doesn't get the light that it receives. So I'm just like, all right, bet. I'm in my own lane.
It's me versus me every day. Like, every day it's me versus me because that's how I become the best person I can be. Like, and then I tell people the real, like, when I was struggling with a situation or, like, you know what I mean? Because if I struggle through something and I talk to somebody, they probably didn't struggle a little bit more and can help me, guide me through or give me that advice that I need to, all right? And then it's like you just said, like, when people tell you things, it's kind of like you got a quick second in your head, like that thought, like, all right, I can let this alter my decision, what I got to do, or I can just keep going what I'm doing, like, because like you said, like, man, a lot of people probably won't see it, or you think that, but that one day you stop, nobody see it. So,
so exactly. It's like you gotta keep it going.
Yeah, I'd rather somebody than nobody.
Right,
like,
exactly. That's how I look at it too. So I tell people also, like, I'd rather have, you know, like I said, 1,000 followers and inspire all 1,000 as opposed to having 1 million and not even touching one.
I just, like Tupac said, you just got to spark the brain of one person. That's it. Like, just one person. That's all it takes. Like, that's why you can't give up or you can't care what people think, because I don't think nobody that's rich and famous or rich cared about what the next person thought about, because you was just so stuck in your grind.
You in your zone, in your grind. Like,
that's why I say all the people, like, it's a lot of people I see, I go on social media and I see them, like, complain over support. You're not really stuck in your grind if you really feel that, you know what I mean? Get stuck in your grind, get stuck in, people, it's 1 billion people in this world. I can't trip about 10 people that's not supporting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
it's hard too, because you know, you do want, like, say for example, you want your inner circle.
For
sure. I'm saying, you want them to be like, like, dang, man, you see this dope, man. Why don't you post my stuff? You ain't even posting my stuff. So I think also it's like, all right, well, you want to be that good vibe. You want that energy. Yeah. You could go ahead and go find it. You know, trust me, somebody's going to support.
Somebody going to.
Yeah. When I started it, like, I'm not going to lie, like, it's allowed me to network with a lot of people. It's allowed me to build and expand. You know, Grind Hard, Dream Big is more than just media. Like, some people look at it like, oh, yeah, well, he's just doing the motivational video or he's just doing the episode.
Right.
Like, no, being in the community and really connecting with, you know, these cities. You know, these kids, whatever it is, with resources. So, you know, shout outs to Dare to Be Different. Shout outs to Braxton Legacy Foundation, or anybody that's watched Grind Hard, Dream Big and felt motivated and or inspired, because doing this community work, you know, I was able to do a lot of things, but that's through the grace of God and the vessels, you know what I'm saying, and the instrument. So, like, I feel like, you know, and you as an instrument for somebody else to have or grind hard, dream big, or anybody that has a business, like, it's an instrument for somebody to take part in.
Take part in, for sure. That's for sure. And I tell anybody, like, I treat it like I treat like entrepreneurship or just doing your own thing like a job. Like, we don't know nothing about these jobs until we go to training. You know what I mean? So It's just like, if you can learn a whole new job, you learning somebody else's dream. Like,
that's true.
You know what I mean? Just put that hard work in yourself.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, put that hard work in yourself. Don't block out the distraction, like you said, and just grind. And then everything. I feel like everything we do, everybody can be a part of it, or you can branch off and do your own thing. But my thing is just having your own thing going, and don't worry about other people.
Right. So speaking about, like, you know, your goals, like, I know you already in, like, 2022 mode, and I know it's a lot of inspiration and motivation, you know, headed your way. I'm manifesting that for you right now.
Appreciate that, brother.
Like, what is, like, I guess an end goal for you, or something that you already manifested or felt like, all right, you know what, this is going to happen?
So it's crazy because, like, my next step, I want to start a podcast. I told myself 2022 I'm going to start a podcast. Just talking about all types of things. I'm into a whole bunch of things, so just talking about all variety of things, and like motivational speaking too, helping people out. And I'm doing actually doing a 100 hoodie giveaway.
Okay.
For the homeless, so it's going to be like 100 NU hoodies.
That's what's up.
Some like little hand warmers, you know, keeping them warm this winter because it's going to be a cold winter. Just
for sure.
Doing our best, and honestly, just getting the community more. I want to win the community over.
Right.
Not win it over, but just be part of the community and win the community and let them know that we can only win with each other.
Right,
like,
that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
It's like, I feel as though we sit and wait for people to take care of us. It's like, we got to take care of each other.
Yeah.
And it got to be more of a community aspect of life. So that's kind of like my goals going in 2022, just building more with the community. And going wherever God taking me, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got you, trust me. He definitely got you. I mean, like, for me, I know 2022 is just going to be more networking, you know, like I said, more episodes, and like I said, more community work, because, I mean, it's never done. I feel like, you know, your gift, you know, my natural gift is to impact and inspire everybody around me. Like, if you're around me, you're going to feel motivated. You're going to feel like a winner. You're going to feel like you belong.
Right.
And I want people to know that, you know, they belong regardless of, you know, the storm you went through, the dark that you went. Yeah. Like, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. And just to be that positive energy. Like, it's hard to think positive when there's a lot of negative around you. And I know we deal with that every day. That's a battle I face every day, because there's somebody that would probably tell me something negative, like, did you hear that this happened? Oh, this is so sad. Or, did you hear that? That's what happened? Oh, well, don't you do that too? Yeah. Or, weren't you around that too? Yeah. Or something like that. And this is like, definitely. I mean, you may not know me from Adam and Eve. You feel what I'm saying? You may not know me. So it's like, you know, maybe try to get to know me first as a person.
That's the most powerful thing about it. I don't think people really understand that, though, bro. Because it's like you being a human and you still having to deal with the negatives, waking up, still feeling like, all right, I'm chilling today. I don't feel like it today.
Right.
But you still going to hop on there and speak your motivation.
Right.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like, you don't feel like it today. We humans. We have them days where it's like, I'm chilling. Like, I don't really feel like being bothered.
Right, exactly.
You know that your messages might reach somebody that day. So it's like, you know that's your purpose to get out there and do it.
Exactly.
So
that's what I'm saying. And it's powerful. So purposeful. Yeah, and I appreciate you for you know, saluting that, because that's what some people don't realize. Like, for me, it's like, it's to the point where it's a regimen. Like, that's my routine. Like, if I don't do it, something wrong with me. That's how I look at it now. It's like, okay, if I don't do it, something wrong with me. So, you know, for people to, you know, tune in, to watch it and things like that, it's a blessing, to be honest, for anybody that, you know, has taken the message or watched the old video, tuned into, you know, the platform. You know, I just want to say thank you for the bottom of my heart, because there'll be more to come. And I hope that, you know, y'all aren't, you know, anybody out there that wants to share their story, go ahead and share their story, because, you know, you got to. You got to at the end of the day.
That's one of my biggest things about my brand, too, is just sharing your story. Like, you got to share your story. Like, everybody needs to hear it. Everybody's story should be told. Like, that's important. Like, I don't want to hear about the celebrity stories. Like, we hear about their stories all the time. I want
right.
to hear about the ones that's next to me. Like,
yeah.
What's your story? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
because what you go through?
Because it matters. Like, you know what I mean? Because we all are one. We all made from the same hand. Like, we all one. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like we gotta spread that love and share that. Like, yo, I can relate to that. I've been through that too.
I've been through that, so
you know
I can
what I'm
see.
saying?
I see myself in this situation. That's why I be trying. I ain't gonna lie, and I think that's what it is with when we talk about influence, right? Because I think influence is also big. Big too. Like 9 times out of 10, if you surround yourself with positivity, you're gonna do something positive. If you surround yourself with somebody that's negative, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna do something negative. Because of what you see, got going on. So talk about like your circle. Your circle of friends or the energy you surround yourself with every day. Because I think it's really, challenging, for you as, like I said, having your own, clothing line and brand, just what you surround yourself by or what's a day like.
So I'm big into like spirituality. So I do definitely make sure my energy around me is correct 1,000% of the time.
That's good.
You know what I mean? But my circle. Everybody in my circle smarter than me, and we're going to keep it that way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we kind of all smarter than each other, like, in our own aspects.
That's
like,
good.
I know what I know, they know what they know, we share it. Like, so it's just like that right there keep me motivated. Like, right there. Like, my girl, like, she one of the biggest hustlers I know. Like, as a female, like, you know what I mean? So it was just like, that right there, a woman hustler, like, to me, women run the world. So it's like,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
So it's like, as to see that every day, wake up and go see her chase it after every day, her dreams. It ain't just money.
Right.
Everybody around me don't chase money. We chase our dreams and our goals.
Gotcha.
Like, it's a difference. Like, money, energy, it's gonna come when we do what we gotta do out here.
Right.
But we chase our dreams and our goals, and that's all I ask for.
Right.
Like, literally, just make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do out here and dropping knowledge. Like,
right.
Because we want everybody to experience what we got going on.
Right, for sure.
My circle, I make sure they stay. It's like an accountability circle. We're gonna make sure we all stay on point.
Yeah, you definitely got to. And I mean, sometimes you can't be afraid to outgrow things too in situations. Because I ain't gonna lie, like for me. People that weren't doing anything, of course, like if you felt like you were the always one, you'd be the only one that was active and busy and stuff like that, you're going to feel like, all right, you know what, like, let me take it to new heights. Let me take it to another level. Let me take it up a notch. So now it's like surrounding yourself like, okay, well, bet. Like, yeah, I'm smart. I know this, but they know that. And then that person knows that. And that person knows that. So adding value to value so it would never devalue. Exactly. I think that's what that's where I'm at with it right now.
Kind of like you said earlier in the show, basically like always being a student to the game, because I don't never feel like I know everything.
Right.
I'm always, every day I wake up and it's like, what can I learn today?
Right.
Like one of the questions that we ask each other in the group like is like, what you learned today? Like just different you know what I'm saying? Just cause like you got to challenge yourself. Like, every day you got to push yourself as a human being, like, to see what the body can endure, to see what the human brain can really take it to. Like,
right.
So it's just like, man, that's one of the biggest things that to have with your friends. Like you say, like, just, like, every day. Like, you got to hustle every day. Like,
right. And I think it's dope what you do, too, because you say, you have your business and you handle your business. But social media breaks. I think a lot of people need to kind of really, like, tap into what you're really saying, because social media breaks, as we all know, like we go through them. So it's like, because we go through them, we see them, it's like, all right, like, why do we need to take the break, or why did you feel it was necessary for you to take breaks at times?
Honestly, like with social media, like you can kind of find yourself depressed a little bit. I remember I was watching $1 Million Worth of Game. Kevin Gates was saying it to a certain extent. Like, you find yourself depressed because you comparing yourself to, like, you feel as though you're not at a certain level you should be at, because you see other people at their level, whatever the case may be. So you know what I mean? Like, so it's hard. It get hard because you be like, damn, I got to go to work, but they out here on vacation every day.
Like, exactly. When can I take mine, right?
you kind of start, like, looking at yourself crazy. So it's like, man, for me, I take breaks and then I also take breaks because I like to gain my assets back to myself. Like,
okay.
A lot of this times, like, being that strong person or being that motivational person, like, no, a lot of people ain't gonna check in on you. They just expect you to check in on them or have that advice for them. So it's like you gotta go restore your energy, and get your assets back, and just make sure you taking care of yourself too. And then, you know, that's my time to go stack up on my knowledge, like read my books, like tap in. Like, it's definitely, breaks are definitely needed. It's for the mental and the spirit.
Nah, I agree 100%. Like for me, I don't really, like I said, in the morning, I'll post my content. You know, I have my little time frame. Other than that, I ain't really messing with it, you know, because, you know, you can sit there and scroll through, but it's like you are what you entertain, not attract. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like you scroll through and you feed into it more. If you seeing all that, then it's like, dang, I'm on this app, and 2 hours just went by. I could have did something, you know, with that time, you know, and make
time
it precious. Yeah, it is. So, you know, it's our biggest asset, and I'm learning that, you know, as I go and grow. So I just feel like, you know, for me, I've never really detoxed from social media, but I know how to manage it. I think at first I was looking at it like, okay, I could just post anything, like. But now it's a tool. You feel me? So now it's like, oh, now that I know it's a tool, now I know how to utilize it. Because everybody else that's running a business, you know, they running it through, you know, the social media or whatever. It's to the point where it's like, oh, yeah, they know that you're going to cop this. Let me go ahead and put this out there. Let me go ahead and put this out there. Let me go ahead and put that out there. But you got to constantly, you know, be consistent.
Be consistent with it, yeah. So,
grind.
Yeah, I definitely, like, I'm definitely thinking about, like, hiring somebody just for that aspect, so I don't even gotta deal with it.
Right.
Because I promise you, like, I won't be on social media if I didn't have no business. Like, I like to be a ghost.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I like to be a ghost. Like, I like to just sit back and learn. But I'm learning, like, people need to hear my voice. People need to hear my words. So it's like I'm trying to come out of that shell and just
you coming out of that shell right now? Look at what you're doing right now, man. Come on, man.
I appreciate the opportunity too.
Yeah, for sure. So like you said, I know you said some of your influences as far as like Nipsey and of course Wallow. Like any like music you listen to get you in your zone or anything like that too?
Yeah, Ross, my man.
Okay.
Ross, Nip, Nip. So I listen to all types of music because I like a lot of old school music like Anita Baker.
Okay.
Like, I listen to her a lot of.
I don't think anybody said Anita Baker on my show. I think you was probably the first one to say that.
That's all right. Yeah, I like it. I like it all.
Ain't nothing wrong with that though.
Yeah, I like it all. I listen to all types of music, like R&B, 2002 hip hop. Like I throw it back. I feel like I got an old soul because honestly, like it's therapeutic.
Yeah, it is. Music
like
is
that, like certain beats. Like I can't listen to trap music all day because it you know what I'm saying? It clog my thinking.
Yeah.
So like, man, I like when people spilling that pain, talking that pain. So it's just like I can relate to it. So those definitely get me in my flow. R&B.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, like it's vice versa for myself. I would say like, you know, the Biggies, the J. Cole's, the Commons,
J. Cole,
Kendrick Lamar's, who else? I like, you know, Lupe, Joey, Logic, Wale, IDK. I don't want to forget
all
anybody.
Thinkers though,
but they're all thinkers. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just like people that really, you know, challenge you to think. And I mean, I like reggae music too. I think a lot of people don't talk about reggae a lot, but it's so powerful and it's so uplifting. You know, even with what is it, Bob Marley? You know, the get up, stand up,
Bob my man,
stand up for your rights. Like things like that. Like people don't realize how uplifting and empowering reggae music is. Like, you know, to get you to think for yourself, to get you to you know, get you.
And I ain't gonna lie, a lot of my thinking music is jazz too.
Yeah.
Just riding in the car with my dad got me listening to jazz now. Because when I was a kid, I was just like, how you listen to music with no words? Like, But now it's just like, I have more of my genius ideas listening to jazz.
Yeah.
I was chilling, like, you know what I mean?
Because that's right.
It's like I'm free thinking, it's clearing my mind.
For sure.
Yeah, so it's one of those type of situations. But J. Cole definitely my favorite rapper. That's
J. Cole, that's all right. I ain't gonna lie.
I left him off my list. That's my man.
J. Cole is definitely different, I think. You know, and he's really aged well. You feel what I'm saying? I like Drake too. You know, probably one of the best situational rappers I could say. Like those situations where you feel like, oh man, I was just going through that. Like this was right on time. Like that's how I be feeling with Drake sometimes. Like when he drop, I be like, man, I just needed to hear something like this. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like even with his stuff, even the old Drake and the new Drake now. I mean, like I'm more into the old bag as opposed to the new. But yeah, it's like, man, his music is right on time.
It's right on time.
As far as the youngins, like the next wave. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like what Lil Baby does.
Yeah.
Because it's that pain and emotion that I feel.
And I like the way I like how he move.
Yeah, that too. You know, it's bigger than rap with him. You know, finance, real estate, you know, it's different things. And it's showing you that, all right, cool, this is just one avenue. So going back to, like you said, entrepreneurship, like creating an avenue for yourself or one more stream of income. Ross, you said Ross is your man.
Yeah.
He been doing that too. You know, like with the music and then, of course, Wingstop and then all this too. So I think it's a beautiful thing to see community winning and people betting on themselves and surrounding themselves with that.
And that's one of my biggest things because, like I tell people all the time, like, man, I like fashion, I do, but I don't. I can wear the same thing every week, like you know, different, just swap out colors or whatever. Yeah. I'm a simple person, you know what I mean? But I rather just people learn like the message behind it. That's what I want people to feel, and I want you to like just sit down and like really learn this entrepreneurship thing or give it a try.
Right.
Like everybody, it's not for everybody, but we should definitely have multiple streams of income to live the life we want to live instead of just living paycheck to paycheck. Like I didn't see my people go through that enough. Like black people, I'm talking about in our culture. Like the financial, like we're not really financially.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's just like, just to learn how to just deal with their finances better and then more so do it like that. Like, man, I want people to just look into entrepreneurship, like get into like different streams of income.
Yeah, no, that is possible. Like if you come
across
across the word, it's not going to scare you. You know, just come across the word that's all right. You know,
just know that you can do it though.
Yeah,
like,
it's possible.
Yeah,
it is. I mean, you know, we talk about all these success stories. You know, people that have dropped out. Or, you know, probably didn't take that similar route. You know, everybody's route is different. Everybody's path is different. It don't have to be the same. You know, with Steve Jobs and Apple.
Yeah.
You know, Jeff Bezos and Amazon. We see all these ideas. These started as ideas. And then people just bought into it.
Yeah.
And then people probably looked at them like, oh, they crazy. Oh, no, they crazy with this idea. And now all of a sudden, everybody's buying into it.
Yeah.
It was something that they did that made you buy.
The crazy thing is, I tell people, they had the vision.
Yeah.
It was a lot of people that don't get credit that was in between that was making it really happen. Like, you know what I mean? Because it just, the brain power came together.
Right.
But it just, that's how it has to be. Like, I can't close my mouth if I need information about something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got to be able to network because something I might not get, the person over there may get it. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, we got to start networking. Like, we got to get out of that whole, I ain't talking to this person because they looked at me crazy.
Yeah.
Like, man, forget all that. Like, I talk to anybody.
Right.
I want to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to be knowledgeable.
I want to be knowledgeable.
Yeah, I want to be knowledgeable. I looked at that too. Like, at first, it was just like, all right, man, you could sit on everything. Like, because me, I was like, man, okay, I got business cards, or I'm going to do this or this. I introduced myself, like, hey, how you do? I feel like the way you carry yourself as a person will tell you a lot. Like, your character, it's not really about reputation and, like, what you're known for. It's your character. Like, if you had $0 and 0 cents, would you still act the way that you act? You know what I'm saying? If you had $1 million.
That's amazing.
And for me, I felt like, yes, because people, you know, like I said, me, hey, how you doing? I got, you know, this energy, this vibe. Like, money is money, but like I said, material things or materials can be replaced. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And you can, you know, lose track of that. But I don't want people to get so caught up on pleasing people that you lose yourself.
Yeah.
You feel
and that's why I say, like, you got to stay true to yourself because, like, you got to, like, making ourselves valuable is success. You know what I mean? Because anybody could do a deal with us just off of our name. Like that's we market ourselves to be that valuable.
Right.
Like nothing material can have value. Like it's gonna fall off. It's gonna be trendy. Like you know what I'm saying. Even with a clothing line. Like, Like I feel as though my clothing line. It could fall off any day.
Yeah,
well, and you the name period. You know what I'm saying?
But your character will never.
It can never. I can never lose value as a character.
Yeah, exactly. How you carry yourself.
My face card can never lose value.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's just like that's gonna get you in rooms way before money is.
Exactly.
Like,
and that's how I looked at it too, because it's just like adding value to it. So it's like the notion of that support. And then the people that, you know, support you, like, a lot of people want support. You got to start supporting somebody else. You want the love, you got to start showing love. So for me, it was just like, okay, you know, this person support me. All right, I'm going to go ahead and support them. And then I realized that hey, that's how it is. You know, and the money doesn't matter. The relationships, you could just be introduced to so many people where money's the last thing that comes across anybody's mind.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It don't matter. We all here. It don't matter. We all gonna eat. We all at this table. We may be at Ruth Chris. Okay, nah, we all got it. We good.
We good.
We all good. Like, we ain't gonna worry. Like, oh, everybody going to the mall. Everybody want to buy something. We all good. You know, it don't matter because we know the intention. And I feel like you're a very intentional person. You're big on your energy and mindful of that too. And like I said, it's a beautiful thing. Like I said, this right here is alignment. This right here is purposeful.
For sure.
This right here is God.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Because a lot of people don't realize the relationship or the power of saying hello or introducing yourself to somebody, because you never know. That person or everything that you need is right in front of you.
It's right there. It's right
and people
there.
don't even want to take that step.
They don't even want to take it. It's simple as a hello. Like, because a hello can save somebody's life, somebody that was thinking about committing suicide.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just major, like, a simple hello. Like, that's why I'd be like, man, I don't care what your status is in the world. I'm going to treat you how I want to be treated. Because,
you gotta treat others.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, man, that money, that material don't mean nothing to me. How do you treat other people?
Right.
You know what I mean? How do you move about in the community? Like, how do you do that? Like, you know what I mean? That's the stuff I watch, because like that's going to tell me a person's character. Yeah,
and for me, I'm not gonna lie. At first, it was just like, okay, you know, building like the community events and the ideas and what I wanted to do. Celebrate your wins, even if they look small.
Yeah.
You know, prime example, doing the backpack drive, and shout outs to Dare to Be Different and Braxton Legacy Foundation and everybody that supported. The initial goal was 100 book bags. That's what I told myself. Like, all right, cool. I'm gonna start off with this goal, and it's 100. The day of the event, and even more leading up to it, I didn't even keep track. But I doubled it. We doubled it as a collective and did 200. You know, but when I say that to say that, you know, you got to start somewhere and have a goal for yourself. If you say you're going to do something, you know, at least have, you know, that goal in mind of what it is that you want to accomplish. And then I know, of course, it could be bigger and better through God's grace, through God's glory, through his people. Because people understand that, adding value to it, you know, and doing the groundwork. So, you know, you just got to really be all in for it before somebody else could be all in for you.
Yeah, for sure. Because honestly, people as humans, we learn from image.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We talk from image. So it's just like, I can go tell you that I got $1 million, but if you don't see me doing anything that adds up to my $1 million, you're not going to want to jump in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's just facts. Like I tell people, like, you got to, if you want somebody to listen to you, you got to be doing it. That's why it's always so important to stay true to yourself, because it's like people watching.
Yeah.
Even if you don't think they watching,
they are watching.
Right?
Yeah.
Watching.
It's people that's going to follow you and really want to follow you, be a part of what it is, or they probably just following you just to follow you.
Just to follow you.
Yeah, and then you got to know how to deal with your energy. Like, don't ever let anybody derail you from what it is that you want to do. And, you know, if you got somebody hating on you, that means you're doing something good. Because, like I said, they probably thought that they could do it, and they're just probably surprised that you're doing it.
That you're doing it, or you beat them to it. Because they wanted to do it, but they just kept telling themselves they couldn't do it, or they kept saying, you know, they had all these thoughts, and then you the one that jumped off the portion. Now you're doing it. You're going to get that. Any business you start, you're going to get that. Like,
Facts.
Like, people going to copy you, but it's like, you should look at it as a good thing. Like, all right, I'm doing the right thing and somebody copying me.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people probably started a clothing brand that I know after I introduced mine to the world. I don't necessarily care. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to support them. I give them all my tools that I got. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
But people be tripping about that. Like, I'm like, nah, like, that's what you want. Like, that's what you want.
Yeah.
When you start doing something, you want to see everybody else kind of forming to it. Like,
right.
Like, because that's just a good thing. Like,
right. And it's crazy because, like I said, for me, it's just like speaking to people or just like being on the stage, like talent shows and things like that. Like, I've done that. And to me, it's like now, okay, motivational speaking, or, you know, that's how some people take it, you know, or speaking engagements and things of that nature. Like, I just set that as a goal for myself. So, like, even when I'm doing it, like, I would encourage people to, you know, if they want to do that, whatever it is you want to do, go ahead and do it. So I don't want people to look at it like, oh, yeah, well, who does he think he is? He's full of himself. Nah, it's the notion of, okay, like, I was broken.
Yeah.
I was down. I was defeated. I was hurt. you know, I was a broken crayon, but still I colored. Still
I like
still I do that. You feel what I'm saying? I heard that, you know, before. So it's like, you know, you still got to still make your mark. And like, this is all art. So we're all exploring our mess. And like I said, like we all got baggage, you know. So I just look at it as inspiration on how I can impact and inspire the next person to do what it is, man. So that's how I look at it. And anybody that wants to do what we do, man, continue to do, you know, just start.
Just start.
Just start it.
Ask questions.
Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Please don't.
Ask questions, because that's one of my biggest things. I was that kid in school, like I didn't want to ask questions because I didn't want to feel as though like it was a stupid question.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then I had to learn, like, it's really no stupid questions. Like, I'd rather ask a stupid question than be ignorant to something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or if I don't know something, I gotta learn it. Like, cause I like to be knowledgeable about a lot of things. So it's just like, man, I'm gonna go put in the work to go learn something. And then it's like people try to put value on you. Like, only I can put value on me.
Right, exactly. You can't expect you from other people. I'm going to definitely say that too, man. This is, like I said, we dropping a lot of gems, y'all. I'm trying to tell you, like, this was, you know, something that was beautiful and something that was needed because, like I said, a lot of people, you know, we talk about generational wealth, and wealth is like, man, go ahead and give me some money. No, we giving you knowledge that's going to sit there and give you all that. I'd rather give somebody a book than give them $1 because on the money, you know. So I appreciate you for even dropping these gems, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, for real, man. Any motivation you want to tell these people before you get up out of here, man?
Man, don't stop.
Don't stop.
I put it like that. Don't stop. Tell your story. Be yourself. Stay true to yourself. Everybody else is taken, as I said before. Be true to yourself. Everything is in you. You just gotta rely on yourself. Like even when it get dark, man, we shine bright in the dark. We just gotta really focus on ourselves and learn ourselves, set boundaries for ourselves, and just get lost in ourselves, and then we gonna take it to the next spot.
I agree with that, man. I'm gonna say, you know, for me, I would just sit there and say, like, before you forgive somebody else, like, forgive yourself too. Yeah, like, realize like major. What you went through. Like, realize the storms that you went through, too, because, like, a lot of people, we want to judge other people, but we don't realize or hold ourselves accountable in that situation. Like, it may have not been them. It may have been you. It's probably something you didn't say or something you didn't do. It's something that you allowed. And go where you're appreciated as opposed to tolerated, because, like, a lot of people will deal with you. A lot of people will tolerate you, but it may be a few that appreciate you.
Yeah, hang out with the people that when they see you, they face light up.
Yeah.
That's somebody dropped that gem on me the other day, and I was just like, I ain't never look at life like that. That's crazy. Like,
the people that go crazy.
Because you feel that energy in that room. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's major. I'm glad you said that. That's major.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, I appreciate you, man, and I hope that this brand, like I said, if it's not in me, it's definitely in you. So I just want y'all to know that. And, you know, like I said, I'm supporting and I'm rooting for this, man, because, like I said, it's alignment and the best is yet to come for you. You know what I'm saying? And manifestation and all that. This is the harder you grind, the bigger your dream, man.
Podcast, man. I appreciate it.
Yes. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream. And we out, y'all. We out.
Thank you.